Imagine you have an apple in your hand. How much do you think that apple costs? Depending on where you live, you may say a small amount of money, like 50 cents. But what you may not be aware of is that the money you mentioned is not the cost of that apple. It is just the price you pay for the human labor and expenses that brought that apple to your marketplace. In truth, the cost of that apple is the whole universe. Yes, it's not an exaggeration. Let me explain. For that apple to come to existence, a whole ecosystem must be in place. The soil, the sun, the rain, the wind, the bees, the air, the rotation of seasons, and much more must be brought together in precise measure and timing for that apple to be in your hand, ready to be enjoyed. There is no way we can pay for any of these services, right? If the money you paid for it is not the real cost of that apple, what can you truly give for this amazing fruit? The answer is simple. You should give thanks. To whom? To the Lord of the earth, the sun, the rain, the wind, the bees, and everything else in between. To the one who gifted you that apple and the hand you're holding it with, the same one who granted you a nose to smell its beautiful scent and the taste buds through which you enjoy its crunchy sweetness. Giving thanks sounds like a simple task, but strangely the Quran states that only very few of God's servants truly give thanks. Why is that? For two reasons. The gifts and bounties of Allah are granted to us without any effort on our part. As such, we tend to take them for granted. Many times, we don't even recognize them as such. Every breath we take in and out is an invaluable gift. Every heartbeat is a precious present. Yet, do we pay heed to them accordingly? The second reason is that most of these gifts are given to every living human being, as Allah is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. The rain falls on the good and the wicked, and the sun shines its light on everyone without any discrimination. Though these reasons might explain why many of us aren't properly thankful, they do not exonerate us from this noble duty of giving thanks. The Quran insists that the all-merciful Creator's most important command to us is to give thanks, through verses such as, "Will they not be thankful? We will reward the thankful. If you are thankful, I will give you more. Nay, but God do you serve, so be among the thankful." In Surah Al-Rahman, the verse, "Then which of your Lord's bounties do you deny?" is repeated 31 times as a reminder that lack of thanksgiving results in denial of the bounties of Allah. We can agree upon careful observation that the design of creation is directed toward life, for everything is made suitable to support it. The distance between the earth and the sun, the composition of the atmosphere, the water cycle, etc. is kept on a calculated balance in the right measure to support the continuation of life on our planet. At the center of this life circle, we find providence or provision, which encompasses everything needed for it. Human life, like other forms of life, is dependent on provision, which is provided abundantly by the most merciful Creator, Allah. Yet this provision is not only suitable but also enjoyable and pleasurable. This enjoyment and pleasure invite one to give thanks very naturally. If we can find the true bestower of our provisions, we will feel gratitude towards His immense grace and mercy. On the other hand, thanksgiving contains a sincere belief and a genuine declaration of God's unity. One who eats an apple and says, "All praise and thanks be to God," proclaims that the apple came from the hand of power, is a gift from His mercy's treasury, and thereby ascribes everything to God's hand of power and sees His mercy manifested in everything. When we experience something good or beautiful, it is very normal to feel grateful. The beautiful forms of bounties, their tastes and smells, are invitations to give thanks to their magnificent Creator. By arousing desire in living beings and thereby directing them to appreciate and respect providence, they urge people to give thanks with their tongues and actions. Yet, it does not end here. Interestingly, we experience the greatest pleasure and satisfaction through thanksgiving itself. Gratitude studies are a new field in human psychology which point out how thankfulness is beneficial for individual health and the well-being of the society. Practicing gratitude daily is shown to help with stress management, so now experts are suggesting ways of showing and feeling gratitude like gratitude journaling or meditation. Although these studies are recent, the Quran has proclaimed for the last 14 centuries that whoever gives thanks benefits his own soul, and as for those who are thankless, God is self-sufficient, worthy of all praise. Bediüzzaman Said Nursi states that through thankfulness, our status in the sight of Allah is elevated. Even our organs are promoted to a higher level of value. For example, if the tongue's sense of taste is used for God's sake, for distinguishing the kinds of providence with the intention of giving thanks, it becomes a thankful examiner and a highly esteemed supervisor of the countless treasures of God's infinite mercy. But if our taste buds are used for the carnal self and does not thank the provider, it is only a watchman of the abdomen's factory, a doorman of the stomach's workshop. The demotion and devaluation is quite clear in this case. Finally, giving thanks has an impact on our hereafter as well. When believers thank God for something delicious, a light is produced and becomes a fruit of paradise, as described in a saying of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. In short, giving thanks is one of the pillars of being a beloved servant of Allah. In prayers of the prophets recorded in the Holy Quran, expressions of gratitude show us how to give thanks. Let us join Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam as he gives thanks to Allah, saying, "My Lord, enable me to be grateful for your favor, which you have bestowed upon me and upon my parents, and to do righteousness of which you approve, and admit me by your mercy into the ranks of your righteous servants. Ameen."